Hi, DJ.
Okay. I don't honestly know if I should answer yes or no. So, okay. Please fill in. Please fill in your heading. Today is the 8th.
I knew it. I did that wrong. Nicholas, shut up.
Okay. Okay. Slope-intercept form. Linear equations are frequently written in slope-intercept form. This form is y equals mx plus b. I do not need comments about what you already know, because the reason we're doing this lesson is because most of you do not know how to do this. So you can keep those opinions to yourself, and that goes for everybody. Okay? If you've already seen this before, great. This will be a really good review for you. Okay? For some of you that maybe learned this 2 years ago, this will be very helpful. For those of you that skipped Math 8, this will be very helpful. Okay? We're all in different places on this. I have done this lesson like 6 times already this year. Do you think that means I would like to do it again? No. Okay. So let's just go through this and have a good attitude, or for some of us, the best attitude that we can possibly muster. Okay. M stands for what? Yes, it is your slope. Okay. The B is going to stand for what? Specifically, the y-intercept. Okay, and it is an intercept and not an intersect. Tis.
Why is it not intersect?
Intersect is a verb. Mm-hmm. So they intersect, okay, but where the point is, where the line crosses the y-axis, is called the intercept. Okay. So this first part is pretty simplistic, okay? Number 1 gives you a slope, and it gives you the y-intercept. All you need to do is write out the y equals mx plus b form, okay? So you'll always have y equals. Your slope is 2, and it is attached to which variable? The x, okay? And then you have a y-intercept of -1, so I write -1. Okay? For number 2, still start with y equals. Our slope is -3/5. Again, you're just attaching it to the x, and then it is a +4, so you're going to add 4. Please fill in 3 through 6. Yes, please do. Any fractions that you see, whether they are regular fractions or improper fractions, leave them as such, okay? Never decimals. And this one is a very specific reason. Why do we not want decimals for our slope? Nicholas? Exactly. The fraction is in rise over run form. If you change it to a decimal, you're going to confuse yourself on what the rise over run is supposed to be. Correct. Yeah. Honestly, Andreas, from this point on, never mix numbers, even past this year. So it is good to learn for number sense, because you'll see mixed numbers, doing recipes, directions when it's measuring distance and stuff like that. But in algebra, it just doesn't make sense. Okay, so Number 3 should be y equals negative 3x plus 2. Number 4 should be y equals negative x plus 7. Okay? Get out of the habit of putting negative 1x. You need to, and if you need to star this one, you can. Okay? But I have had, and all of this stuff I'm saying is not getting on to you guys. I'm just telling you the reality of the conversations I have every day. Seeing negative x, I still feel like I'm explaining 10 to 15 times a day that means negative 1. Okay? So you need to burn that into your brain that a slope of negative 1, okay, or having a negative x is a negative 1. Okay? You need to just be able to memorize that. Okay? Number 5, y equals 1 over 4x with what is our y-intercept?
0.
Okay, so do not put plus 0. Okay? Do we all know that 0 is no value?
Yes.
Okay, so we don't need to put anything there. Okay? And if you were to see a question like this on a state test, they will never put plus 0 on there. Okay, it'll just be 1/4 x. Okay? And then the last one, y equals 5 halves x minus 3. What's up? Sure? Mary Beth?
So, in the middle, how similar is what we're learning right now?
In algebra, right now?
No, just like in class.
In class, what we're doing is Algebra 2 curriculum. We just don't go quite as in depth. Like we just started the systems. You'll have a whole unit of systems in Algebra 2 where basically you're learning the exact same things. They'll just give you more complicated numbers, and then they'll add in, and you'll start to do 3 equations at the same time instead of just 2. Okay? But all Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 is Algebra 1 is like the first 1 or 2 steps. Algebra 2 is the next 2 steps, basically. Okay.
About algebra 3.
Algebra 3 is college algebra, and it's the same thing. Okay. I know you were halfway joking with that question, but there is an Algebra 3.
Actually, I did put it not.
Is there an algebra 4?
It would be all about
Or that one you just get to like the different things?
Oh, you
No, because this algebra
There-
3 is college.
there is, but what they call it just depends on where you go. I can't think of what it would be right now.
What about
Something like that, yeah. Okay, let's look at number 7. You have 2 points. Okay, your slope is the m, your b is the y-intercept. Okay, so first I'm going to start by measuring or just counting where my y-intercept is. So from the origin, okay, which is 0, 0, I'm just counting up or down to where I find the intercept. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so our y-intercept is negative 4. It is negative 4 because we have to start at 0, 0, and then you just need to look, do I need to go up or down depending on where the line crosses. So this one you had to go down 4 from the origin. Okay. The slope, I'll start from the y-intercept. Slope, start from y-intercept. Okay, so I'm going to start at that point right there, and I'm going to count my rise first. I'm going to go up 3. 3 goes on top. Now, am I going to the right or to the left? I'm going to go to the right 1. That goes on bottom. Okay, now if you mark that as your slope, I will count it as a 4. Absolutely. If you write also your answer as being just a 3, I will count that the exact same way. But we need to recognize that these right here are interchangeable. They are the exact same thing. Okay? So now write the equation. Y equals 3x minus 4.
Oh, that's
Do number 8 on your own. Everybody should be doing this. Everybody's pencil should be touching paper after you find it.
That's 7. Isn't that 7?
Because all of it goes up. I thought it was up.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Yeah, we all mess up.
The 10 by 10s wouldn't fit in the box. I'm going to pretend I didn't. Okay. What's your y-intercept for number 8?
It's 7. 7.
Yeah. It's 7.
I did know that.
Okay.
I counted, right?
Now, the slope. Okay. Now, first, without even counting. Okay. Is this a positive or a negative slope? How do we know it's negative?
You have to go down.
Mm-hmm. It's all about scanning. Okay. The way that I teach it is by scanning. Okay. You start at the bottom, and then you scan. When it's on paper, I just use my pencil. Okay. You start at the bottom and you scan. Oh, I see the line. Okay. So now I need to recognize, does the line go up and to the right or up and to the left? It goes up and to the left. It's negative every time out of every time. Okay. This one right here, if I scan it, I see the line. Now I need to recognize, where is it going? Up and to the right. It's positive every time out of every time. Okay? Always. You need to recognize those trends. What's the most important reason that you need to recognize those trends? Say that again, Adam. Yes, it's a great way to check yourself really easily without having to go back in and substitute in your solution and do the whole check and do, does 2 equal 2? Check. Okay, we're good. This is a quick check on my slope of, did I at least get the sign right? Nicholas. It's all right. Think about it. Okay, so when I'm counting my slope, I'm starting at the y-intercept and I'm going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Negative 6 over, and then I'm going to go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, did I go to the right or to the left? So that means my bottom number needs to be positive. If it's a negative slope, you should only have one negative sign. If you have 2 negative signs, it's a positive slope. Adam.
What if you went down to as soon as the line hit a point on the graph? Negative 3 over 2.
I see what you're saying. So in this particular instance, it works. You just have to be careful because maybe the graphic is off a little bit and it looks like it's going through that grid point, but maybe it's actually a third over. And then you would be putting that answer down, but you might be wrong. Now on this one, what do you notice about this slope? You can simplify it to what? Negative 3 over 2. And that's what you said you had, right, Adam? Yeah. Okay. So if you don't understand what Adam's question is, Adam just went and basically made another point in between the 2 points, which also works because that's down 3 and to the right 2. Okay. So it's simplified correctly. Okay. Like I said, just be careful. My suggestion to you, if I could force you to do this, I would. But my suggestion to you is, if they give you 2 points, use those 2 points. Okay. Don't assume that you think it also goes through another grid point. Okay. So what's your equation on this?
Simplify, guys. Remember.
They will never give you the non-simplified version on a test unless they are specifically asking about some sort of simplification. Okay? You have to simplify. Okay? for the rest of your math career, you have to simplify.
Because everything's so much harder.
Do what? Well, I can't control what your other teachers do. But any standardized test that you take, Mary Beth, which for you guys, standardized test wise, like the Oklahoma State test, like whatever. But for you guys, what's really going to be important is SAT, ACT, PSAT. And on those, everything you do will be simplified. Okay, so you just need to know that it is, that's just part of it. I'm good, sorry.
You just received some bad news. You got mom? You got mom?
And my mom texted me and asked why she ended up on my graph on my notes in class. I said, I don't know. It's just what one of my students said. What?
Oh, okay. Oh, so.
Yeah, why? No? Okay, let's keep going. Okay. You need to do 9 through 16.
So all of them?
Not all of them. I figured if I said 9 through 16, it might make you feel better.
No, not really.
Yep.
And you want to stop. And let me stop you. You're not gonna have to stop.
Go ahead and do 9, 10, 12, 14, 15.
All of them.
All
So on this, is it like
That's nice.
So if you do negative on both, what does that really mean? No. If you have a negative on top and a negative on bottom, what's a negative divided by? Positive. And then you can check yourself by doing the scan. You see the line? Yeah? Is it going up to the right or up to the left? So it's positive.
Adam, it's going up to the right, you're wrong.
do we find the slope by starting from the y-intercept or
Yes.
0, 0?
Y-intercept. Yep. Find your slope by starting at the y-intercept.
Wrong. I'm wrong. Going up to the right, that would be positive.
So it's the scan, Adam. So when you counted it, you probably had -2 over -5.
Yeah, they.
Oh, okay. Well, either way. But then you just got to do the scan from the bottom. If it goes up and to the right, it needs to be positive. Yeah. If both numbers that you count for your slope are negative, the whole thing is positive. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. What'd you ask?
Excuse me. And on that box, that would be quadrant. This one?
Yeah, it's a negative box. It being a negative box doesn't matter at all.
Let me stop you there.
It's hard for me to help you. Just think about your question for a second.
I am.
What do you need? No, maybe not. What do you need?
My dad picked up some burgers, some hot dogs. Okay, so on this one, we both go.
You counted them both negative, right? You
No.
went down 2, left 5. So technically both of those were negative. So it's positive.
But
And you do the
But
scan.
it goes down.
No, but it's up into the is what you want because it's technically going in both directions. So you scan, you find your line. Is it going up into the right or up into the left?
It's going up into the right.
So it's positive.
Okay.
So it's not.
Oh, 0.
Okay, so
Why is there 2 then? It's going up, not down. Use your brain. It goes
You think
up
you're
from
okay?
here, not down
Okay.
from there.
What's up?
Is this
Ah,
Ow, that hurts so bad.
I'm not trying
Is that a minus? Perfect. Good job. Shoes? You want? You have them.
Huh?
Did you ask if you can keep them in here? Yeah.
Actually, I don't care. We don't make mistakes.
So it's the way you work is perfect.
Oh, I was thinking.
Oh, this one.
Well, if they're both ones.
Let me check this one because you counted 1, 2, 3. You want 1, 2, 5. So it needs to be down 2 and then over 5.
Wait, so
You put 3 for this. Yeah.
is it supposed to be?
Isn't that zero?
Is it supposed to be
The other one.
one?
So the way that I was actually taught to do it is I'm going to draw a line from that point.
Oh, I see what I did.
Yeah, you're just counting too far.
I counted too far.
So just make that a 2. Now, positive 3 is up here. So what's that?
Negative. That's negative.
Yeah, so
I don't know why.
that's good. Okay, so this one, -6. Perfect.
No, there's
So and you just need to be careful on your count. So this one looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, I get
This
it.
is 6.
It's small.
Yeah, you're good. But you're doing it right.
All right, thank you.
Oh! You could have told me. I thought you'd be more.
1, is that what you got right there? Now just make sure on all of these
That's not
you
fun.
need your X's. Okay. Looks like we're doing okay. Just make sure you got your X's in there. Okay. All right, I'm gonna start putting them up there.
Andreas, what are you doing? Don't worry about it. Elware. Yeah,
You mean 5 over 2? Yeah. You just flipped your eyes and you run. Okay, there's 9 and 10.
Let's go!
On number 9. Yeah. So, guys, real quick. Okay, you can keep working, but let me talk through 9 real quick. Okay, this was a good one for y'all to start on by yourselves. So, I've seen a lot of different signs. Okay. From the y-intercept, you got to count down 2. So that's going to give you a -2 for your rise, right? And then you're going to count to the left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is also negative. What's a negative divided by a negative? A positive. Then when I do my scan, okay, if I'm starting my pencil down at the bottom and I scan up, there's my line. Now what's the question you got to ask yourself? Exactly. Is it going up or right? Okay. Up and to the right or up and to the left? It's up and to the right, so the slope needs to be positive. Okay? Good. Yeah. Yes. Which just reduces to 1, and you don't need the 1 in front. Okay? And again, on standard tests, they will never put the 1 in front of an X if it's just X. Okay? It's a good question. Okay, so number 11. We'll go down 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then to the right 8.
Oh, you have to simplify?
Okay, there's number 11. Okay, number 12. Does that make sense, Maddie? So it's okay. So the license that I used to use for my Microsoft account expired, and I have tried to reactivate it, but I can't seem to log in. So for some reason now I'm just stuck in this workbook and it won't let me switch over. I used to be able to like send to OneNote and it would let me sort into pre-algebra, algebra, geometry. Now it just stays here. So every class is now just in geometry, and this is a massive, massive workbook. So I'll fix it for next year, but at this point it's just like whatever. Yeah, it's great. It's amazing. Okay, 13 and 14. Is anybody still working? You don't have to raise your hand, but just don't look up if you're ready, okay? I guess don't. Sorry, you know what I mean. Don't look up if you're not ready.
No, you start from this point and try to get it from the line.
Yes. Yes.
Can you make it 2 over 4?
Say it again.
Can you make 8 over 4 to 2?
Yes.
No. Oh, get this cool, man. Don't look up. It's on the negative.
I don't want to be nobody's way.
What's up?
Obviously, not get on that knee. I'm confused. I keep getting confused because of numbers. Wait. No, don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Oh, no, I meant fuck that.
Well, 13. It's 7.
What's up? So you just gotta know what do you start with? Start by finding your y. What you count to? What do you count? Let me see. Okay, so you start at the origin, and now you're counting where? To where it crosses the y-axis. Where does it cross the y-axis? This way. This is your y-axis, so this vertical line. So you're starting at the origin, and you got to count to where it's crossing. Okay, not up here. I know. You're going from the origin, and you keep counting to that. So just right here, and then I'm going down. How many? 1, 2, 3. So that's your y-axis.
So I will go down right here. Oh, wait, maybe it wasn't.
So that's why I have you starting with this. So the only time you use the origin is to find your y-intercept. Then once you find your y-intercept, you do your slope from here.
Then I go up. So I got 3 right here. So I go 1, 2, 3.
Keep going.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Right there.
That's 8 over 1, 2, 3, 4. Or negative 4?
Mm-hmm.
So it would be 8 over. So it would be y equals 8 over negative 4 plus negative 4x plus 3. Or would be
Minus 3.
Oh,
Because
you're going down.
You went down. You get it. You'll get it. Keep working. Keep working. Okay, I'm going to put in 15 and 16, and then I'll zoom out if you still need some solutions. 2, 1, 2, 3, 6.
No, it's positive. No, it's positive because they're both positive. They're both negative. Let's go. Oh, whoa. Oh, bro, we have to simplify. You didn't know that?
He literally just gave us a whole lecture on how to simplify from now on.
It wasn't a lecture, but
He gave us a whole talk. The talk.
I'm lecturing you.
Parker, what's that?
Excuse my French.
okay.
He says that. He said that.
So here's
Excuse my French. Blunt.
Mr. Bennett. Okay. Why did Bennett?
hold on just a second. Sorry. It's frozen up on me.
Oh, no.
Okay, Lanai, what'd you say? Quiet, please. Okay, if you're done, you need to be quiet. Go ahead.
13.
So the simple answer is if I start at the bottom and I scan, I find my line. Is it going up and to the left or up and to the right? It's negative. I know. That's my first answer, though. It's a negative slope. So whatever number you get right here has to be negative. Okay? The other part is I go up 8, left 4. 8 over 4 is 2. Exactly. Every fraction is a division. Every fraction is a division problem. Okay? Now, Lanai, so like I reduced that down to 2, okay? That means that I could have imaginary points all right there because those are each 2 over 1. Go 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. So that's why you can reduce it down to 2. Mm-hmm. Okay. Anybody still need 13 through 16? Okay. We are going to flip over to the standard form notes. Go ahead and get those out in front of you if you're done checking yourself on these.
Number 5 of the homework, it's 2x minus 6y. Do we divide by 2 or just subtract 2x?
Subtract 2x.
That's my favorite channel.
Their best play was slide tackle Andreas. Is that what it was?
No, it wasn't their best play. It was a kid that missed a penalty. They don't have a best player was that little small kid.
All right, guys. Standard form notes. Okay, if you thought slope intercept form was easy, that's good. If you didn't, that's okay. Okay, just keep practicing. There are plenty of ways for you to practice that stuff on your own. Okay, IXL is a great one. Okay.
Oh wait, actually, I already did those. Yeah. We already did
Only people that care about their education. What's up, Caleb? Yes. Okay. So please mark your heading. Did you put your full name?
Yeah, I did.
Middle name too?
Including my middle name.
There.
That's your middle name.
Yeah, anybody that's already stalked me online already knew that.
Just change your middle name to Pesto.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's his right?
Yeah, I mean, once people start stalking me online, it's... Okay, standard form. Okay, linear equations are frequently written in standard form. AX plus by equals c. So when we started the system stuff 2 days ago, you saw some equations in slope-intercept form. You saw some equations in the standard form. Okay, so the standard form is where we have to rearrange to put into slope-intercept form if we want to graph it. Okay, now standard form, I think, makes finding your x and y intercepts much easier. That's something that pre-algebra just went over. And based on how this is going, I might go over it with y'all too, but just not today. So you're going to write each equation in slope-intercept form. You are given the standard form. What's up? Okay. So that, in its most simplest way to say it, is you're just solving for what? Y. You're solving for y. What's up?
Are we gonna have a homework sheet for both of us?
I'm not sure if you will today, because honestly, the homework sheet that I gave you 2 days ago will be good practice for this anyway, because you're graphing both of them, or finding your solutions. So, for the answer. Okay, so on number 1, okay, we are trying to get it into slope-intercept form. Okay, your first step is to move the x. Okay, and when I say move the x, you need to move all of the x. Okay, which means if there is a number attached to the x, you are going to move it with it. Okay, together. Okay, so how am I going to move a positive 2x, Parker? You just did it. You just asked me a question about it 5 seconds ago. That's exactly right. That's why I called on you. It's okay. So you're going to subtract 2x. Why do I subtract 2x from the left side? Yeah. I'm going to bring down my y equals. Now, write it in slope-intercept form. So what needs to come first? Negative 2x. Okay. And then is that 3 positive or negative? It's positive. Did everyone look me in the eyes? Okay. If I'm not making eye contact with you, you're wrong. Ian, you fail. Adam, you don't always have to live in other people's shadow. It's okay. Come into the light. Okay. Now listen to me. Listen to me. Did I combine the 2x and the 3? No. Okay? I did not put them together. Do not put them together. I cannot have 3 apples and then put 2 bananas with them and now have one singular combination of fruit. I still only have, shut up and quit interrupting me. I still only have 3 apples and 2 bananas. Okay? Mary Beth, ask your question. They are not like terms. You cannot put them together by adding or subtracting. Okay? What is the only way that I could put them together? If they're the same term or if I'm multiplying or dividing. Okay? Because then you can combine them. Adding and subtracting, you cannot combine them. Okay? This is my final answer. That's all you have to do.
It's kind of like the other thing that
I'm going to talk about that when we get done, but no, you're going to do all of them. Okay, number 2. Yes, because this will be for a grade. Okay, number 2. 4x plus 5y equals negative 30. What's your first step? Yes, move the x, all of the x. It is a positive 4x. What is the opposite of a positive 4x? A negative 4x. I'm going to do it to both sides. The 4x's will cancel out. I'll bring down my 5y, and then I will write it in mx plus b form, which is negative 4x minus 30. Now, we didn't have to do step 2 on number 1, but we have to do step 2 on number 2. Step 2 is, yes, multiply or divide. Divide is apparently a hard word to spell. Multiply or divide the coefficient by the coefficient. I hate when the pen starts doing that. Hold on, sorry. My pen's... There we go. This thing did not used to be this glitchy.
That coffee really messed that up, huh?
It did. He's worth it, but it definitely messed it up. The kid is worth it. Yeah. Multiply or divide by the coefficient.
Just co and then efficient.
I don't know. Actually, studies show that being a good speller has no correlation to being intelligent.
Literally, that's what I'm always saying.
That doesn't mean that they're
What
stupid.
if you get to the special spelling?
No, it's spelling is just all about memorization and pattern recognition. So if you're good at those things, you can spell. Doesn't necessarily correlate to like having high IQ or something like that. Because plenty of people that are super, super smart are terrible at spelling. That's just because their brain works differently.
Like people who are great at math.
Maybe.
I can't do
Maybe.
that or spell.
I'm a pretty good speller, but my wife's way smarter than me. So, okay. So that means on number 2, what are we dividing by? Now, no, stop. Where are you dividing 5 to? To everything. To everything. To, I'm going to show you, but my answer to your question is to everything. I'm going to divide that by 5 and that by 5. If not, you'll get a bad grade on your notes. Okay, so the 5 divided by 5 is going to cancel out and give you y. Negative 4 divided by 5 is what? Negative 4 over 5. Still with the x attached to it. And then negative 30 divided by 5 is a negative 6. That's fine.
Y equals NX plus B.
Okay, I would like for you to, if you feel like you need to have frequent checkpoints on this part, I want you to do number 3, and I want you to do number 4, and then pause, and then I'll put those both up there, and we can talk about it. Yes. Then you can wait patiently and quietly, Nicholas. Perfect. Like a statue. Is the hole puncher helping you, Eli? Okay. Well, you shouldn't be bored. You should be writing. Yes.
On number 3, or would that be negative? Would it just be negative? Negative x over negative 3, does that make it better?
Yes, to answer your question. Sorry, my brain just had to catch up to what you said.
That's just a normal.
It's positive.
It should be. Mm-hmm.
It's positive.
You want to elaborate?
Yeah, why? I was just thinking. And my pale skin means anytime blood starts moving, you can see it because my face gets super red. So I'm good.
Oh, we know.
Pale people unite. Y'all, if y'all see my son, you know where he got it from.
Oh.
How would you get rid of it? So what?
What about it? You said it yourself.
Okay, I'm putting number 3 up here. Okay, so after moving the x, this is what your first line should read. Okay, then the second step is I'm going to divide by the coefficient to everything. The negative 3's are going to do what? Cancel out and just give you y. What's negative x divided by negative 3? So I don't want to confuse anybody, okay? But if you write this as your slope, that is totally acceptable, and you'll probably see it written like that. That is the exact same as writing it like this. They are the exact same thing, okay? The thing that you can never have, okay, is 1 over 3x. Those are not the same thing, okay? So if you're going to put the variable in the fraction, it has to be on the top for your slope, okay? Out to the side is the safest way to do it, in my opinion. And then just put the 1 up on the top. Yeah. Okay, yep, so you got 1/3 x. And then 12 divided by negative 3. Stop talking, please. Stop talking, please. Quit wasting my time. What's 12 divided by negative 3? Negative 4. This should be your answer for number 3. Okay, yeah. So number 4 is one I'd like to walk through because this one has a slightly different thing that you have to think about. What's your first step? Subtract all of x. X's will cancel out and give you negative y equals negative x minus 8. Okay? Now, you have a negative y. Now, what did we say earlier? You need to recognize is in front of an x if you had a negative x. A 1. It's the same thing with any variable. So that y technically has a negative 1 attached to it. How do you get rid of the negative? By doing step 2, which is multiply or divide by the coefficient. Okay? I am going to divide by the coefficient. Where? To everything. The negatives cancel out. Y equals. What happens to the x? Negatives cancel out. And then negative 8 divided by negative 1. Let's see. Good job. Okay. So, you need to do. Yeah, so basically, here's your homework. Okay? You need to finish all of these standard form notes, including the back. Okay? And the homework from, what's the day, Friday, from Wednesday. Okay? Those should be turned in together. If you already turned the other one in, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I think most of us have not. The other thing about those other homeworks is you are no longer only doing half of them, you're doing all of it. Okay? Did you already turn it in?
Oh, okay.
You can go grab it. Yes. You will turn in both sets of notes and the homework from Wednesday together.
So what if we have a life to live?
If you have a life to live, then what I would say to you is
YOLO, you only live
that
once.
you only have 26 school days left. So you can live your life. You can live your life in 26 days. 29. Today is Friday. Okay, you have some time on Saturday. You have some time on Sunday. You have some time on Monday, and you have morning on Tuesday. Okay, and lunch.
Then on Monday.
Actually, almost done. But the first
I'm assuming for this one, it will just be 0. Wait a minute. You want to do these?
Yes, multiple choice.
I need a.
Right.
No.